Eagles don't ask pigeons for permission to fly. An eagle never files a flight plan with a bird that cannot break the tree line. An eagle does not negotiate altitude with creatures designed for sidewalks, crumbs, and quick flutters around the marketplace of opinions. I got news for you. Some of you have been taxing your wings to satisfy birds who were never born to breathe thin air, and you call it humility, but heaven calls it compromise. Please write this down. When you seek permission from people who cannot fly, you surrender altitude before you ever take off. I want to be your shepherd for a moment, and I want you to hear my voice, because time is shorter than your excuses. Many of you have a dream, a vision, an assignment that keeps waking you up at night. But by morning, you are already dialing the council of pigeons, friends who love you at ground level, co-workers who clap for comfort, relatives who fear heights because heights reveal responsibility, and you ask them to approve what God already commanded. You text them your blueprint, they text you their anxiety, and you revise your wings to match their fear. Are there eagles in this room? Then I want you to join me at the top while I say this with fatherly love. Stop asking non-flyers to supervise your flight. Some of you came into this room spiritually exhausted because of the trauma of second guessing. You apologized for growing. You edited your brilliance to keep somebody comfortable. You hid your good news because their faces turned gray when you shined. You parked your creativity in a garage called Someday because small minds kept writing you parking tickets. You started speaking softly so people wouldn't accuse you of arrogance, but your destiny is now whispering back, where did you go? I see you, and I'm not condemning you. I'm diagnosing you. You have been loyal to voices that are quietly training you to doubt the very assignment you were born to complete. I want you to write this next line in big letters. God will not let you ignore relationships that are silently canceling your authority. He loves you too much. He will let the nest itch. He will let the noise irritate. He will let your peace be disturbed until you confront the circle that has normalized your smallness. I am not telling you to be rude. I am telling you to be responsible. Authority is not a feeling. It is a responsibility to represent a king without apology. I'm going to give you laws, write them down, because authority does not float on emotions. It stands on order. And the first law is this: your altitude is a function of your approvals. If earth approves you, heaven may be waiting. If heaven approves you, earth will complain, but you will fly. Open your mouth and say it with me. I will not shrink my calling to fit someone else's comfort. Say it again like you just fired the board of your insecurity. I will not shrink my calling to fit someone else's comfort. Look at the person next to you. Yes, find some courage and tell them, I love you, but I refuse to ask your permission to be who God said I am. Give yourself a hand, because that confession just snapped the chain. Let me be clear, because confusion is a tool of the ground. There is a difference between counsel and permission. Eagles receive counsel from the wind. They read currents. They respect patterns. They study storms, but they do not ignite permission from pigeons. You can learn from anyone, but you cannot submit your altitude to everyone. Write this down. What you consult forms you. What you submit to owns you. Some of you have allowed casual comments to become covenants. Somebody who never wrote a book vetoed your manuscript. Somebody who never built a business audited your vision. Somebody who quit at the first storm has become your navigator. I got news for you. You are not being humble. You are being hijacked. Now, I know the ache. You want to be liked. You want the family reunion to be peaceful. You want the office to stop whispering. You want the small group to stop labeling you. And so you shrink. You over-explain. You apologize for acceleration. You stop testifying because testimony makes the timid nervous. Hear me. Your assignment is allergic to apologies. Every time you say sorry for obeying God, another feather falls out. Every time you wait for a nod from a pigeon, an hour is stolen from your purpose, and the cemetery smiles. My greatest wish for you is to frustrate the cemetery, die empty, not approved. So let me set the agenda for this journey together. Because we are not here for a motivational snack. We are here for transformation. I'm going to give you laws that will govern your authority in this season. Write them down and wear them like armor. Because authority is not a mood. Authority is a mandate. It is dangerous stewardship from a king who expects a return on his investment. And one of the earliest audits heaven performs is this: who are your voices? If your circle keeps you comfortable, you are in the wrong circle. If your circle keeps you cautious, you are in a training circle, not a launching one. If your circle keeps you courageous, you have found an eagle's ledge. Choose wisely, because association is the quiet architect of destiny. Let me give you a final exercise for today's foundation. Put your hand on your chest and declare, I release the need to be approved by those who cannot see what God showed me. Again, I release the need to be approved by those who cannot see what God showed me. Now whisper to your own soul, fly, fly, fly. You do not need a committee to validate your altitude. You need conviction, clarity, and the courage to disappoint ground level expectations. Are there eagles in this room? Then let's settle it. No more permission slips from pigeons. No more hiding your wins. No more apologizing for obedience. No more surrendering altitude before takeoff. From this moment, honor the king by honoring his vote over your life. And as we move forward, I will teach you the laws that protect your authority, the boundaries that preserve your focus, and the environment designed for your wings. But right now, make the foundational decision that unlocks everything else. You will not ask the ground how high you're allowed to rise, because you, my friend, were born for the sky. Now join me at the top. Now that you've fired the board of your insecurity, I want to define what you are carrying so you don't pick it up like a hobby and treat it like a suggestion. Authority is not a personality. It is not volume. It is not hype. Authority is delegated. Write that down. It is jurisdiction from the king to execute the king's will in a territory. A kingdom citizen does not invent assignments. We receive mandates. We are not pitching ideas. We are representing policies from another country called heaven. And when you understand that authority is a trust, you stop negotiating with ground level opinions, because ambassadors don't take polls. Ambassadors deliver messages. I got news for you. Many of you have confused gifting with authority. Your gift can make people clap. Your authority will make some people uncomfortable. They will applaud your song but resist your sentence. They will love your creativity but fight your command. You can be admired for talent and still be ineffective in purpose if you lack the courage to govern what you were sent to govern. Write this down. Gifting entertains the room. Authority establishes order. People call for your gift when they want excitement. They call for your authority when they are ready for change. Don't let applause around your gift seduce you into abandoning your assignment. Heaven did not send you here to be impressive. Heaven sent you to be effective. Let me diagnose something subtle that's been happening, because the devil rarely roars when he can whisper. When I say canceling, I am not talking about a trending hashtag. I am talking about the slow leak in your confidence that comes from daily erosion. It is the undermining comment that sounds like a joke but lands like a chain. It is the consistent delay, not now, maybe next quarter, that breeds hesitation like mold in a damp room. It is the confusion introduced by too many voices until you start second guessing what you knew last year at midnight with tears and conviction. It is the quiet agreement you make with fear to tone it down so you can be invited back to the room that has never produced fruit in your life. That, my friend, is cancellation, not sudden, daily. And it works like rust, slow, silent, destructive. Say this with me so your spirit hears it from your own mouth. I will not let erosion cancel my commission. Again, I will not let erosion cancel my commission. Good. Now, please write this down and underline it 3 times. Anything that forces you to disobey your purpose is not a friendship, it is interference. And interference is illegal when you are on official duty. Do not badge interference with the title mentor. Do not decorate interference with the ribbon tradition. Do not baptize interference in religious language and call it humility. If it pushes you into disobedience to the king's assignment, it is trespassing on holy ground, your destiny. Ambassadors operate by seal, not by smile. When the king delegates, the seal is the proof. The seal is heaven's endorsement favor that opens doors you didn't even knock on. Wisdom beyond your education, courage beyond your temperament. Some of you are waiting on earth's thumbs up while heaven is waving you through the gate. I got news for you. If you beg for approval, you are acting like a volunteer. Volunteers ask, may I help? Ambassadors announce, I was sent. Volunteers seek permission to participate. Ambassadors carry authorization to implement. Which one are you? Don't answer me. Answer your calendar. Answer your speech patterns. Answer your delays. If your mouth is full of, let me see what they think, you are volunteering for a meeting God did not schedule. There is an unavoidable binary in this kingdom, and it will set you free once you accept it. You can be popular or you can be accurate. You can be approved or you can be anointed for assignment. You can be liked by earth or trusted by heaven, but rarely both at the same time. Write this down. Popularity measures applause. Accuracy measures obedience. The devil doesn't mind you being admired as long as you are disarmed. He would rather you trend than you transform. He will give you likes if it keeps you from legislating. But eagles were not called to trend. Eagles were called to govern the atmosphere. I can hear some of you thinking, but doctor, I don't want to be arrogant. Good, neither do I. True authority is the most humble posture on earth because it admits this is not mine. It is not your vision, it's his. It is not your business, it's his instrument. It is not your ministry, it's his embassy. Humility is not apathy. Humility is accuracy. Humility does not apologize for the assignment. It refuses to take credit for it. So be gentle in heart and granted in conviction. Smile at people. Love them. Serve them. But do not abdicate because they are uncomfortable. There is a difference between loving people and obeying them. Let me make this painfully practical because confusion hides in generalities. If a meeting consistently ends with you doubting what God told you, that meeting is unauthorized. If a relationship continually requires you to park your vision at the curb so their insecurity can ride shotgun, that relationship is unauthorized. If a leader uses care as a leash to keep you predictable instead of as a covering to release you, that leadership is unauthorized over your assignment. You can respect people, honor titles, and still refuse illegal control. Eagles honor order, but order comes from the king, not from codependence. Open your mouth and declare this with backbone. I am an ambassador, not a volunteer. Again, louder so your fear hears it. I am an ambassador, not a volunteer. One more time for the part of you still negotiating. I am an ambassador, not a volunteer. Give yourself a hand because that confession just upgraded your posture. Hear me like a father who wants you to die empty. Stop dressing disobedience in courtesy. Stop calling fear wisdom when it's really delayed. Stop begging her to approve what heaven assigned. Every day you wait for a nod, you lose a feather. And when feathers fall, flight becomes labor. The king expects a return on his trust in you. He did not give you authority to survive meetings. He gave you authority to move mountains. So rise from the table of indecision. Return your chair to the committee of hesitation and report back to the office of your calling. From this moment forward, your yes belongs to the king. Your pace belongs to the king. Your boundaries belong to the king. And when you speak, speak as one carrying seal and sentence, clear, calm, unhurried by opinions, unmoved by flattery, unhindered by fear. Because you were not sent to be impressive, you were sent to be accurate. And accuracy, my friend, is how eagles honor the throne. Now that you understand you are carrying a seal and not a suggestion, the next audit heaven performs is very simple and very severe. Who has your ear? Write this down, please, and carve it in your notes like a chisel on stone. The law of association. You become like the people you keep close enough to hear. Association is not neutral. It is a mold. Your environment is editing your expectations while you aren't watching. Every conversation is a sculptor. Every lunch is a lesson. Every repeated voice becomes your vocabulary. If you want to know your future, don't check your horoscope, check your circle. I got news for you. You don't have to agree with them to be shaped by them. Proximity is permission. Repetition is discipleship. Exposure is education. If you park your soul under a dripping faucet long enough, even if you don't like the water, you will be wet. You can sit in a room and say, I'm just listening, but your spirit is being trained by what it hears most often. Faith comes by hearing. Fear also comes by hearing. So please write this down. The ear is the gateway of government. Whatever sits nearest to your ear will soon sit closest to your decisions. Let me give you a taxonomy, because pictures teach faster than paragraphs. In the kingdom classroom, there are 4 birds that keep showing up: eagles, pigeons, ducks, vultures. Eagles are rare. They fly at altitude. They love storms. They see far. They test before they trust. Pigeons live in crowds. They are comfortable with crumbs. They love the marketplace. They flutter short and fast and make noise about everything and commit to nothing. Ducks are professionals at quacking, complaining morning to night, splashing in shallow ponds, migrating with the crowd, satisfied with seasonal moves, but never pursuing mountain air. Vultures are experts in history. They live off dead things, old offenses, yesterday's news. They can smell decay from miles away, but they cannot generate life. Now hear me. Each one is not just a bird. It's a relationship pattern. It's a language set. It's a climate, and climates determine crops. Say this with me. So your inner world hears it. My climate predicts my crop. Again, louder. My climate predicts my crop. Good. Now tell your neighbor, look them right in the face if you can. I cannot soar with voices that are trained for the ground. Say it again. Tell your courage believes you. I cannot soar with voices that are trained for the ground. Here is the subtlety that ruins more destinies than scandal ever will. Erosion does not always shout, it whispers. When you keep pigeons close to your ear, standards begin to lower by centimeters, not miles. You start negotiating what you once knew was non-negotiable. You delay obedience because timing, which really means fair in a tuxedo. You dilute your language. Big becomes realistic. Faith becomes reasonable. Vision becomes manageable. Excellence becomes good enough. And holiness becomes don't be deep. You begin to fear being too much, so you cut your sentences in half and your dreams in quarters. You become addicted to explaining yourself, rehearsing your call like a defense attorney in a court that has no jurisdiction over your assignment. Write this down. Association sets your thermostat. If you fellowship with lukewarm, boiling turns to warm without you noticing. Ducks will keep you quacking. Spend a month with chronic complainers and notice how your mouth forms around their vocabulary. Somebody needs to, if it were me, you will find yourself mastering the art of critique with an empty schedule of contribution. Vultures will keep you nostalgic. Sit under the counsel of bitterness and you will become a curator of funerals for things God already buried. You will smell the past so strong, you will miss the wind that was designed to lift you into the future. Pigeons will keep you busy. Your calendar will be full. Your soul will be empty. And your wings will be tired from flutters that never leave the parking lot. Eagles, rare as they are, will keep you accountable to altitude. They will not clap when you settle. They will not congratulate you for cowardice. They will ask you for your metrics, your timeline, your obedience. They are not impressed. They are invested. Please write this in bold letters. Access is currency. Stop giving it to those who spend it against your purpose. Who can text you and hijack your plan? Who can criticize you and paralyze your obedience for 3 days? Who can invite you and you say yes before you pray? That list is your prophecy. That list is your law. Reduce that list to voices that reinforce your assignment, not rewrite it in the language of fear. You don't need many, you need right. The rare breed called the eagle is cautious about the company it keeps because trust is expensive and purpose is priceless. I want to pastor you for a moment. Like a father who wants to attend your graduation from smallness, audit your top 5 voices this week. Not your followers, your feeders. Who feeds you? because you will eventually feed like what feeds you. Evaluate the rooms you keep entering. Do you leave lighter and bolder or heavy and slower? Are you being challenged to obey faster or comforted into delay? Are you speaking like an ambassador, or have you reverted to a volunteer asking for permission to breathe? If the atmosphere is training you to apologize for accuracy, that room is illegal for your destiny. Everybody put your hand on your ear and declare, I will guard my gateway. Again, I will guard my gateway. Now lift your head and make this vow with me. I align my associations with my assignment. I align my conversations with my calling. I align my access with my authority. Good. Give yourself a hand, because that vow just closed the door the enemy loved to use. Remember this law and don't negotiate with it. Your associations are either reinforcing your assignment or rewriting it in the language of fear. There is no middle. Either you are inhaling courage or you are breathing secondhand doubt. Either your circle is an echo of the king's decree, or it's a committee of pigeons drafting amendments to your obedience. Choose eagle climates. Choose storm friends. Choose voices that make you straighten your back and check your timeline. Protect your ear like a vault, because what you hear most becomes what you say most, and what you say most becomes what you do without thinking. From this moment forward, decide that the next time your wings hesitate, it won't be because a pigeon was in your ear. It will be because an eagle just told you to go higher. Now, because heaven is practical, let me expose the slow killers. Pigeons don't have to hate you to cancel you. They only have to keep you low long enough to forget you were born to soar. Cancellation is not always a strike. It is often a drip. It is not always a door slam. It is a door half open that makes you think you still have access while the season quietly passes. Write this down and circle it. Authority leaks through tiny holes you refuse to patch. I'm going to give you 7 erosions. As I name them, don't defend anyone. Discern everyone. Write down the names, not to hate them, but to know what you're dealing with. Erosion number 1, familiarity without honor. They know your history and use it to deny your future. They keep calling you by your baby name while God is calling you by your mandate. They remind you where you grew up, what you failed at, who you used to date, how you used to behave, and they talk to the old you while the new you is trying to put on its wings. Write this down. Familiarity becomes a cage when honor is absent. The people who refuse to update their picture of you will try to make you live in their photo album. They will say, I remember when you were, and you will feel the gravitational pull back to the nest you outgrew. That is why eagles don't build nests on sidewalks. If every time you share vision, someone answers with your past, you are in an honor drought. Don't argue with them. Don't try to convert them. Mark it. Reduce exposure. Because honor is the runway for authority. And where there is no honor, planes taxi but never take off. Erosion number 2, constant joking and minimizing. This one sounds like laughter but works like acid. They turn your vision into entertainment so they never have to respect it. There he goes with his big ideas. Look at Miss CEO. Don't forget us when you're famous. It sounds cute, but it disarms seriousness. Please write this down. What you permit to be mocked will be difficult to maintain. When your goals become punchlines, your soul will treat them like optional. The room trivializes, so it never has to be accountable to your standard. Eagles are not humorless, but they do not let destiny become a meme. If they only clap for your jokes but go silent at your metrics, you have identified a minimizing climate. That climate is a slow sedative. Laugh with friends, yes, but not at your calling. If the laughter ends with you doubting your timeline, that's not friendship, that's erosion. Erosion number 3, delay counsel. Later, not now, wait a little, give it time until your season passes and they can say, see, it wasn't meant to be. Write this down and underline it 3 times. Wisdom does not always say wait. Sometimes wisdom says now. Pigeons baptize procrastination and call it prudence. They ask you to pause so they can stay comfortable with their own pace, and you mistake their fear for your timing. There is a window for everything under the sun. Seeds have seasons. Markets have openings. Hearts have moments of readiness. When God says move and a committee says maybe next year and you comply, you are not being careful, you are being canceled. I got news for you. Delay is the most polite assassin of destiny. If a voice consistently pushes your obedience into tomorrow, it is an illegal traffic officer waving you into gridlock. Mark it. Erosion number 4, fear transfer. They project their risk phobia onto your calling and label your courage as recklessness. That's too much. Don't rock the boat. Play it safe. But eagles don't learn to fly by hugging the branch. Write this down. Another person's threshold for fear is not the thermostat for your faith. If you accept their ceiling, you will inherit their results. Fear is contagious by conversation. It passes by breath. You don't need to inhale that. Respect prudence. Reject paralysis. There is a difference between calculated risk and cultivated fear. If every suggestion is a brake and never a steering wheel, you will spend your life parked with the engine running. And parked cars burn fuel but go nowhere. Identify the fear exporters. Do not hate them. Feed them courage from a distance while you obey without apology. Erosion number 5. Comparison, poison. They measure you by their limits, and anything beyond their ceiling becomes pride. The moment you dream bigger than the group, you are accused of changing, showing off, forgetting where you came from. Write this down. Comparison is the language of insecurity trying to legislate your size. If they can flatten you, they won't have to face their own plateau. Hear me as a father. Excellence is not arrogance. Accuracy is not ego. Growth is not betrayal. Eagles are not taller, they are higher. And height is not an insult to the ground. It's obedience to design. So when their words try to shrink you, don't explain your altitude to streetlights. Smile, bless them, keep flying. But mark the pattern, because comparison always comes to collect a payment, your confidence. Erosion number 6, access entitlement. They demand unlimited access to your time while resenting your discipline and boundaries. You never pick up like you used to. You're too busy for us now. Why can't you come hang? It's just one night. Write this down. Access is stewardship, not charity. When God gives you assignment, He expects you to schedule like a person on duty. Pigeons believe your time is communal property. Eagles treat time as royal currency. If they get offended when you protect focus, they were never for your flight, just for your company. Your calendar reveals your kingdom. Who can bypass your gate with a text? Who can pull you off the runway with a crisis that is not your jurisdiction? Who accuses you when you enforce hours for study, prayer, writing, building, rest? Entitlement will call your boundaries pride because they cannot control you anymore. Don't apologize for stewardship. You are not rude. You are responsible. Erosion number 7, unauthorized critique. They critique what they never built, question what they never carried, and advise what they never studied. Write this down. Opinion without stewardship is noise. We honor feedback from those who have fruit, scars, and faithfulness. We ignore drive-by commentary from spectators who have mastered nothing but comments. Eagles test before they trust. That includes advisors. Who has authority to coach your assignment? Check their altitude, their outcomes, their obedience history. If correction comes from someone who refuses correction, you are entering into illegitimate supervision. And illegitimate supervision cancels authority because you hand over your steering wheel to someone without a license. Be teachable, absolutely, but not gullible. Vet voices, verify results, validate character, then humbly receive. That is how authority remains clean and sharp. Now, put your pen on the paper and do what I ask as a pastor who loves you. Write the names, not to hate them, but to know what you're dealing with. Who treats your calling like a comic sketch? Who always answers your faith with later? Who pulls you into memory lane when God is pointing you toward mountain paths? Who demands your hours for entertainment while calling you proud for protecting your study? Who critiques from the cheap seats while producing nothing but commentary? who knows your history but refuses to honor your present growth. Circle them. Not to cancel people, hear me, but to cancel erosions. We are not warring against flesh. We are confronting patterns. And patterns either reinforce your assignment or rewrite it in the language of fear. Say this with me. So your soul hears its own leader. I revoke slow leaks from my authority. Again, I revoke slow leaks from my authority. One more time with spine. I revoke slow leaks from my authority. Give yourself a hand, because that confession just put a patch on a hole you thought was harmless. I got news for you. And it will make some of you breathe for the first time in months. You don't have to hate anyone to rise above them. You don't need revenge to fly. You need recognition of climate. Pigeons don't have to hate you to cancel you. They only have to keep you low long enough to forget you were born to soar. So wake up your remembrance. Remember what God told you in the dark when nobody was clapping. Remember the blueprint that made your heart burn. Remember the urgency that made you rearrange your life. And then align access to that remembrance. You will love people better when you stop letting them decide your altitude. You will serve people better when you stop submitting your wings to their fears. You will represent the king better when you close the committee and open the cockpit. From this moment, treat erosion like enemy territory. Patch what you can, limit what you must, and prepare your environment for flight. Because next, I will show you how eagles test before they trust, so your heart can stay soft while your borders stay strong. But tonight, take your list of prayer, lay it before the king, and ask for wisdom to reorganize without bitterness, to honor without surrender, to love without lowering. Your authority is a trust. Protect it like a crown. And remember, you were not born for sidewalks, crumbs, and flutters. You were born for thin air. Fly. Now listen to me. Like a son listens to a father who wants to attend your graduation from smallness. Eagles test before they trust. Write that down. Trust is not a gift you hand out. Trust is a reward for testing. The Creator designed the eagle to protect its future with a process. Not with feelings, not with flutters, not with hashtags, with a process. And if you will honor that process in your relationships, in your leadership team, in your partnerships, in your mentorships, you will save years, you will save feathers, and you will save altitude. Let me tell you the story that changed my life. A mature eagle does not enter covenant because somebody can sing nicely in the wind. She does something scientists have watched for generations. She picks up a twig, small, ordinary, easy to carry, and she flies upward. A male eagle, interested and excited, comes after her, flapping, showing off, talking big with his wings. She looks back, no smile, no flirt, just focus. Then she drops the twig. The male must dive, catch the twig before it hits the rocks, and bring it back to her talons. If he brings it, she flies higher. She drops it again. He dives again. If he thinks it's a game, he quits. If he thinks he can impress without responsibility, he disappears. But if he is serious, he repeats the rescue. And the test continues higher, longer, heavier twigs, colder winds, thinner air, until the male proves stamina, focus, and commitment. Only then, write this down, only then does she allow partnership. Why? Because one day those twigs will be eaglets. One day that catch won't be a branch. It will be destiny falling. And she must know before romance, can he be trusted when it counts? I got news for you. You've been marrying people to your assignment who never caught a twig. You gave full access because they spoke well for 3 minutes. You handed passwords to your purpose because they liked your post. You promoted them to confidant because they cried when you told your story. Tears are not a test. Write that down. Words are not a test. Performance without pressure is not a test. Trust is not a gift you hand out. Trust is a reward for testing. So how do eagles translate this to humans? I'm going to give you 3 tests. Simple, repeatable, non-negotiable. And I want you to run them in your life like a pilot runs a checklist before takeoff. Test number 1, reaction to your progress. Hand them a small twig of your advancement, a new contract signed, a chapter finished, a standard raised, a door open. Watch, don't explain. Do they celebrate spontaneously or go quiet instinctively? Do their eyes light up with gratitude to God for your acceleration, or do their faces harden into jokes and subtle digs? Write this down. Jealousy cannot clap on beat. If you have to shrink your report to keep their comfort, you have already identified misalignment. An eagle partner turns your win into a win. A pigeon turns your win into a warning. If they must minimize your progress to maintain proximity, they have failed test one. And listen, you don't need to confront with a speech, just adjust access, smile, bless, and lower the altitude of that relationship. Eagles are not distracted by pigeons. Test number 2, response to correction. This is where most of you lose years, because you confuse loyalty with agreement. Give a clear, loving no, offer constructive feedback, or set a limit and observe. Do they lean in and learn, or do they pout and punish? Do they weaponize silence? Do they build a case file of your imperfections? Write this down. Teachability is the oxygen of trust. If a person cannot breathe in correction, they will suffocate your future. I want you to practice this week sometimes. Simply say, no, not now, and see who respects or resents. Offer a small adjustment. Let's do it this way, and watch if they grow or if they gossip. Pigeons interpret correction as rejection. Eagles receive correction as protection. If someone must be coddled to be corrected, they cannot carry a twig, let alone an eaglet. Test number 3, respect for your time and priorities. Post your priorities like runway lights, prayer, study, family, fitness, building, rest. Then notice who keeps landing late without clearance. Do they honor boundaries, or do they use emergencies to bypass your gates? Do they get offended when you say, I'm unavailable, I'm writing, or I'm with my family, or this is focus hour? Write this down. Love without boundaries becomes leakage. Boundaries are leadership. If your yes belongs to the king, your calendar must look like a citizen on duty, not a pigeon on a stroll. People who are aligned will schedule themselves to your purpose. People who are misaligned will schedule your purpose to themselves. And hear me as your coach, if they keep making you choose between honoring God's priorities and coddling their preferences, that is not covenant, that is captivity. Everybody say this with me. To the marrow of your bones hears it. I don't trust words, I trust patterns. Again, stronger say it. I don't trust words, I trust patterns. One more time for the part of you that still falls for speeches. I don't trust words, I trust patterns. Give yourself a hand, because that confession just puts steel in your spine. Now, let me pass to your heart, because some of you are tender and you think boundaries mean betrayal. Boundaries are not hatred. Boundaries are health. Boundaries are the fences that keep wolves out of the playground of your destiny. Jesus loved the world and still said, my time has not yet come. Write this down. Compassion without criteria breeds chaos. You are not better because you are available to everything. You are better because you are accurate to something. Eagles love deep, but they love within design. Their nests are high, intentional, and guarded. Access is graduated. Levels are earned. Even the eaglets are trained before they are trusted with altitude. So stop accusing yourself of pride when you enforce design. Pride is thinking you own the assignment. Stewardship is guarding what the king entrusted to you. How do you implement this without being harsh? Quietly change the process. Stop promoting people to the inner circle by emotion. Require patterns. Use probation periods for projects. Give small assignments before major roles. Require written commitments to timelines. When someone fails a test, don't write a nasty letter. Just lower access and increase intercession. We are not canceling people, we are canceling erosions. We are not punishing, we are protecting. We are not building walls, we are installing gates with guards that understand the mission. Tell your neighbor, if you're near one, twig test, then trust. Say it again, twig test, then trust. Write this down and underline it. Consistency is the only resume I read. Not promises, not potential, not personality, consistency. Because when the storm comes, and storms will come, you will need partners who can catch falling twigs at speed, in cold wind, at thin air, with no drama, no ego, no gossip. Just focus. That is the boundary principle that protects purpose. Now lift your head and declare with me, I choose testing over guessing. I choose patterns over promises. I choose boundaries over leakage. Good. From this night forward, adopt the eagle's process. Trust slowly, test thoroughly, love deeply, and lead clearly. And if anybody asks you why your access policies change, smile and tell them the nest is holy, the mission is heavy, and I fly by design. Now that you have tightened your gates and stopped giving trust away like confetti, some of you are going to feel something you did not expect: discomfort. Don't panic. Don't mislabel it. I got news for you. Sometimes God makes the nest uncomfortable because your next level requires your wings, not your comfort. Write this down. Discomfort is often a message: fly now. Say it again till your courage believes you. Discomfort is often a message: fly now. Let me take you back to the Creator's classroom, the nest. When an eagle mother prepares for a family, she starts with rough branches and sharp thorns. Then she covers them with soft grass, fur, and feathers so the eaglets can rest, be fed, and grow without injury. But when those eaglets reach a certain size, something radical happens. Mama eagle starts removing the softness one feather at a time, exposing the thorns that were always there but hidden by comfort. She doesn't hate the eaglets. She isn't punishing them. She is prophesying to them. It is time to fly. She flaps her wings, stirs the nest, and the once comfortable home becomes a place of holy irritation. Why? Because comfort that refuses to graduate becomes captivity. Please write this down. The same nest that saved you can suffocate you if you refuse to grow. Some of you are experiencing this right now, and you have been rebuking the devil, binding and loosing, when heaven is simply doing nest maintenance. Your old circles no longer fit. The jokes that used to make you laugh now land flat. The gossip that used to entertain you now grieves you. The endless small talk that once felt like community now feels like a thief of hours you need for obedience. You go to the same lunches and come home heavy. You sit in the same meetings and taste sand in your mouth where there used to be sweetness. That is not you becoming proud. That is heaven exposing thorns. Write this down. Inner disturbance is often divine disturbance. When the Spirit stops letting you rest in rooms that shrink you, He is not being cruel. He is being kind. Let me name the signs because clarity saves time. Sign number 1, a holy impatience with shallow conversations. You used to float there for hours. Now 10 minutes feels like 10 years. That's not rudeness, that's readiness. Sign number 2, reduce tolerance for gossip and complaint. Your ears ache when small minds pass around big opinions. You feel urgent to protect people who aren't in the room. That is the eagle waking up in you. Sign number 3, a fresh burden for excellence. Where once good enough satisfied you, now you are allergic to sloppy, to late, to almost. You are not being difficult. You are matching the measurement of your mandate. Sign number 4, an ache for alignment, a desire for rooms that make you straighter, faster, clearer, holier. You begin to seek out feedback from the fruitful, not the familiar. These are thorns whispering, fly now. I want to pastor your interpretation because misreading your moment creates unnecessary warfare. Not every battle is the devil. Some conflicts are classroom assignments. Some separations are protection. Some closures are the Father tying off loose ends so you don't bleed altitude at 10,000 feet. When the conversation that used to affirm you now agitates you, ask the right question. Is this agitation an attack or is it an activation? I got news for you. Sometimes God will offend your comfort to deliver your calling. He will let the group thread turn tedious so you will finally leave the chat and enter your chapter. Now here is the decision point, and it is binary because destiny is always binary at the moment of takeoff. You can use discomfort for depression or for altitude. Write that down. You can use pain for retreat or for rise. You can interpret the thorns as proof that life is unfair. Go back to sleep, mute your mandate, refeather the nest with excuses, and you will add years to a season God was trying to end in weeks. Or you can take the hint. You can read the wind. You can tighten your core, spread your wings, and step out where your muscles must remember what the Creator put in your DNA. You were born to fly. Everybody say this with me. Thorns mean transition, not tragedy. Again, thorns mean transition, not tragedy. Give yourself a hand, because that confession just broke an agreement with self-pity. Let me go deeper, because some of you are tender and you confuse peace with permission. Peace is the fruit of obedience, not the absence of friction. The eaglet does not discover peace by snuggling deeper into exposed thorns. It discovers peace by catching the wind. And I promise you, once the air holds you, the nest that once felt safe now looks small. The same voices that begged you to stay will call you uncaring when you leave. But your leaving is not hatred, it is honesty. You cannot keep calling a recovery room a residence. The nest is holy, but it is temporary. Write that down. And hear me, because the enemy will try one last trick at this stage: nostalgia. He will replay highlights of old circles, edit it to remove the parts where you were suffocating, and he will ask you to feel guilty for growing. Don't fall for it. Honor the past, do not inhabit it. Bless the people, do not beg them to be what they are not called to be. If God is pouring a burden for excellence and speed and accuracy into your bones, you must match your climate to your calling. The eaglet that refuses to fly at the signal of thorns becomes prey. The leader who ignores divine disturbance becomes a professional at managing smallness with big vocabulary. So what do you do this week? Practical steps, because I am not interested in making you shout without strategy. Number one, stop re-softening the nest. Do not apologize your way back into circles. Heaven is retiring. Do not volunteer for events that used to be oxygen but are now anesthesia. Number two, rename your discomfort. Instead of "why is this so hard?" say, "what is this training?" Ask the Spirit, which muscle are you building? Courage, focus, speed, discernment. Then cooperate. Number three, schedule altitude. Pick times this week when you will step out. The meeting you need to decline. The project you must start. The mentor you must call. The room you must enter where the questions are bigger than your comfort. Number four, watch for wind. God often sends confirmation in the form of new invitations, new hunger, new clarity. If a door opens that matches your metrics, walk through it. Don't hold a memorial service for a nest feather. Say this with me so your soul stops negotiating. I will not waste discomfort. Again, I will not waste discomfort. One more time with authority. I will not waste discomfort. I will use it for altitude. Good. Because I got news for you. Heaven is too invested in your assignment to let you die in a soft chair. The king did not anoint you to maintain a social calendar. He anointed you to represent a country. Ambassadors don't live by applause. They live by assignment. I'm in an ambassador's season and one nation is finished. Headquarters calls them home or sends them higher. Consider this your call. Before you sleep tonight, write it at the top of your page. Discomfort is often a message. Fly now. Underline it. Circle it. Then list the thorns, the rooms that agitate, the habits that no longer fit, the conversations that drain, the entertainment that dulls, the expectations that cage. Bless each one. Thank God for what it taught you, and then step out. You will feel lonely for a minute. That's just altitude disguise. You will feel fear for a second. That's just muscles waking up. And then, as sure as the sun bows to its maker, you will feel lift. And lift is heaven's way of saying, welcome to where you belong. Now spread your wings, child of the King, and answer the thorns with flight. When you finally step out of that poked up nest and the wind takes you, the first sensation is not applause, it is space, air, distance. The voices get quieter, the group chat dims, the calendar empties in places where you used to stuff it with noise. And your soul asks, did I do something wrong? I got news for you. That ache you're feeling is not punishment, it is altitude. Write this down. Elevation creates separation. Not because you're better, but because you are different in assignment. When God lifts you, he doesn't make you superior. He makes you responsible. And responsibility requires room for clarity. Let me pass to this moment because some of you are tempted to descend just to feel company again. Please write this down. Many prefer company over calling. They choose noise so they don't have to face responsibility. They stay busy to avoid bravery. They volunteer for every committee to escape confronting the one mandate that scares them into greatness. But eagles do not medicate destiny with chatter. Eagles don't need a crowd to confirm a command. Are there eagles in this room? Then stop apologizing for your altitude. Give yourself a hand if you are tired of explaining why you can't come down to the square to peck at crumbs. Now, I must make a crucial distinction because confusion here can cost you years. There is a difference between isolation and consecration. Write it down in big letters. Isolation is fear-driven withdrawal. It hides. It soaks. It builds walls because it resents people. Isolation is what you do when shame is your shepherd. Consecration is purpose-driven separation. It prepares. It sharpens. It builds gates because it honors the assignment. Consecration is what you do when the king is your commander. Isolation says, leave me alone, I'm offended. Consecration says, give me a moment, I'm being formed. One rots your courage, the other refines your voice. Say this with me. I am not isolated, I am consecrated. Again, I am not isolated, I am consecrated. I want you to see heaven's leadership logic because this is not random, it is consistent. Before David held a crown, he held a harp alone with sheep and wrote songs that would guide nations. Before Moses confronted Pharaoh, he listened to wind and silence in a desert, stewarding someone else's flock, learning to hear a bush burn without burning out. Before Joseph interpreted dreams in a palace, he interpreted pain in a prison with no Instagram to announce his endurance. Even Jesus, our King, often withdrew to lonely places to pray. Write this down. Authority grows in quiet. If your voice is always surrounded by echo, you cannot hear nuance. If your schedule is always invaded by applause, you cannot detect assignment. God removes the crowd not to embarrass you, but to calibrate you. Some of you are fighting the very surgery that would save your influence. You keep trying to fill every blank on your calendar because blank space scares you. It confronts your identity. But hear your coach, empty space is not emptiness. It is incubation. That quiet hour you are tempted to trade for a coffee with pigeons is the very hour in which heaven would align your language for the next room. Write this down. Clarity requires consecrated quiet. If you always draw from others' noise, you will never meet your own voice. And the word doesn't need another echo. It needs an eagle. Now, I know the craving. I've tasted it. It is easier to be liked than to be led by God. It is easier to be invited than to be instructed. It is easier to be surrounded than to be sent. But you cannot trade calling for comfort and expect crowns. Elevation means some invitations will no longer fit. Some tables will feel lower than your purpose. Some jokes will not land at your altitude. They lose oxygen where you are going. Do not come down to make them comfortable. Write this down. If you must shrink to belong, you do not belong. The rare breed called the eagle refuses discounts on destiny. Let me give you 3 practices to turn loneliness into leadership because I don't want you shouting without strategy. Number 1, schedule consecration. Don't wait for it to happen. Put solitude on your calendar like a nation appointment. Prayer, study, planning, worship, silence. Guard it like payroll. If your yes belongs to the king, your mornings must not belong to pigeons. Number 2, curate inputs. Trade gossip for guidance. Replace endless feeds with focused reads. Listen to mentors who have fruit, not just volume. Write this down. Your ears are gates to your altitude. If small talk keeps landing, your wings will keep stalling. Number 3, practice voice drills. In the quiet, write your assignment clearly every week. Speak it out loud, record it, listen to it, refine it. Leaders who mumble in private will stutter in public. Authority grows when you practice accuracy alone. I want to confront a lie that rides on the back of loneliness. If I were truly called, I wouldn't feel this ache. Nonsense. The ache is confirmation you have left the ground. Every pilot feels the pushback when the wheels lift. Every runner feels lungs burn when new speed starts. Every leader feels the pull of gravity screaming, come back to average. Write this down. Altitude aches are training pains. not termination notices. You are building capacity. Your heart is being enlarged to carry people you haven't met yet, rooms you haven't entered yet, burdens you haven't lifted yet. Stay with it. Everybody put your hand on your chest and say it until your bones agree. Altitude feels like loneliness until I realize it is training for leadership. Again, stronger. Altitude feels like loneliness until I realize it is training for leadership. Now give yourself a hand, because that confession just canceled the apology tour. No more explaining your discipline. No more dumbing down your devotion. No more negotiating your focus so somebody else can feel secure. Here's the last thing I want you to write tonight. Love people deeply, but don't descend foolishly. Send messages from the sky. Drop food to the nest. Intercede, encourage, serve. But keep your wings spread. Keep your eyes on the horizon and keep your schedule aligned with the mission. The king is not punishing you with space. He is promoting you with space. When the time comes, he will fill that sky with the right formation. Other eagles who know how to draft with you in the wind, not drag you back to the square. Until then, fly with the spirit, steward the silence, and let the altitude do its work. Because you are not alone. You are with the one who called you. And he is enough to train a leader who will one day lead many without ever begging pigeons for permission to fly. Look at me tonight. We are attending a funeral, but it is not yours. We are burying the addiction that has been choking your assignment and suffocating your authority. Write this down. Approval seeking is a slow burial of purpose. It does not kill you with a knife. It embalms you with compliments. It preserves you attractive and inactive, perfumed and postponed, dressed in other people's expectations while your own mandate lies cold. We are closing that casket tonight. I got news for you. The wealthiest spot on planet Earth is not the diamond mines of South Africa. It is not the gold mines of South America. It is not the oil fields of the Middle East. The wealthiest spot on planet Earth is the cemetery, because lying in those plots are books that were never written, businesses that were never launched, foundations that were never endowed, songs that were never sung, sermons that were never preached, patents that were never filed, blueprints that stayed in the drawer because someone feared people. Write this down. Many die with a full heart and an empty life, full of ideas, empty of obedience, full of dreams, empty of decisions. And the undertaker that escorted them there was not failure, it was approval. Some of you on a payment plan with the cemetery. Every week you make small deposits, delayed drafts, postponed proposals, muted messages, paying for a beautiful grave for your gifts. You don't say, I quit. You say, let me ask them if it's okay. You don't say, I'm scared. You say, let me see what they think. And every day that you elevate above the king becomes a grave digger with a smile. Write this down. You cannot represent heaven while begging earth to approve you. An ambassador does not carry petitions. An ambassador carries decrees. Let me confront it straight, because love tells the truth. Your life is not ownership, it is a lease. The king is the owner. You are the steward. You don't get to extend your contract indefinitely. You don't get to keep asking for extensions while heaven waits for a report. Time is passing, tick, 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 and every tick is either investment or interment. Either you are moving your assignment toward fruition, or you are moving it nearer to a tombstone with your name on it and the word almost. Are there eagles in this room? Then stop letting pigeons sign your flight plan. Write this down. People's opinions are not permissions. If your calling needs a committee to get out of bed, you are already late for your life. If your boldness requires an applause track, you will never speak when the crowd is silent. Approval is an anesthetic. It numbs your courage while it steals your hours. And hear me, because I am pastoring your destiny. The people you are trying to please will not attend your judgment seat. They will not stand with you when the king asks, what did you do with what I gave you? You will not be able to say, but they didn't like me, or my cousin laughed, or my supervisor rolled his eyes. The king will say, I did not give your purpose to them. I gave it to you. So tonight we hold a funeral. First, the obituary. Here lies the need to be liked before I obey. It lived in fear. It fed on compliments. It starved my courage, and it dies today. Second, the eulogy. Thank you for nothing. You kept me small. You taught me to edit my obedience to fit small rooms. You paid me in claps and charged me my calling in return. No more. Third, the burial. We are lowering this need into the ground with 4 shovels of decision. Shovel number 1, I will not ask pigeons for permission to fly. I will not submit the architecture of my assignment to those who cannot even read blueprints. Shovel number 2, I will stop negotiating timelines with relatives who never built anything, co-workers who fear advancement, and friends who are insecure around excellence. Shovel number 3, I will measure advice by fruitfulness, not familiarity. If you have no harvest in the field I am assigned to, you do not have authority to veto my planting. Shovel number 4, I will replace what will they think with, what did he say? Write this down. Obedience is time sensitive. Delayed obedience decays into disobedience. Some of you say, but I don't want to lose people. I got news for you. You are losing yourself. You are trading history with the king for comfortable conversations with the crowd. You say, I don't want to offend. Approval has you apologizing for breathing. You are dimming your light so others won't squint. You are walking bent so others won't feel short. Hear me. You don't have time to live someone else's opinion. Not with this lease. Not with this assignment. Not with this wind in your wings and this word in your bones. Your calendar is a moral document. Either it reflects the king's priorities or it testifies that you outsource leadership to fear. Write this down and circle it. Courage is the currency of completion. Not applause, not agreement, courage. And courage is not the absence of trembling. Courage is obedience with trembling. The cemetery is full of men and women who waited to stop shaking before they moved. They never moved. And the world lost their music. We are not adding to that wealth. My greatest dream and wish for you is that you will make a decision tonight to not add to the wealth of the cemetery. That you will pour out every chapter, every company, every program, every invention, every message, every strategy until you die empty, fulfilled, and finished. Now we activate. Put your hand on your chest. This is a courtroom and your mouth is giving testimony. Say it with me. I renounce the need to be approved to obey. Again, louder. I renounce the need to be approved to obey. Tell your neighbor if you're near one, I love you, but I won't ask you for permission to be me. Now declare this with the fire of an ambassador who knows his lease is ticking. I will die empty, fulfilled, finished. Again, I will die empty, fulfilled, finished. One more time. Tell your bones, remember who you are. I will die empty, fulfilled, finished. Give yourself a hand, because that confession just put dirt on a coffin. This week, you will feel the itch to ask for permission. Treat it like a ghost from that grave. Bless people, honor people, serve people, but do not worship people. When you post a proposal, when you pitch the client, when you say no to the distracting invitation, when you turn off the comment section in your mind and turn on the voice of your king smile, you are not being rude, you are being responsible. You are not being proud, you are being precise. You are not dying to people, you are dying to approval. And that death is the seed of a finished life. Write this final line and frame it where your eyes must see it in the morning. Approval is a coffin, obedience is a runway. Choose your transportation. Tonight we have chosen the runway. Now run, take wind, mount up, and refuse to be late to your own funeral by living in one while you breathe. The cemetery will not get your assignment. The king will. And you rare breed called the eagle, you will finish before you die. Now that we have closed the casket on approval and stepped into consecrated altitude, we must not leave a vacuum. Nature and the kingdom both despise vacuums. If you tear down and do not build, weeds return where a garden should be. Write this down. Deliverance from wrong association requires deliberate association with right people. You don't just leave pigeons, you construct an eagle environment. If your assignment is a seed, your environment is the soil. No matter how good the seed, it will rot in the wrong soil. Say it with me. I am responsible for my soil. Again, I am responsible for my soil. I got news for you. The Creator did not design greatness to grow in isolation. He designed it to grow in calibration. Eagles find currents, not crowds. but they do fly in formation when it's time to migrate. So what does an eagle environment look like? I want you to write down 3 categories that must exist in your world at the same time, because imbalance here creates distortion. Category 1, mentors who correct you. Category 2, peers who challenge you. Category 3, proteges who draw leadership out of you. If you have only mentors, you live forever feeling small and never practice your voice. If you have only peers, you compete without growing wise. If you have only proteges, you become a celebrity in a sandbox. Write this down. Maturity requires roofs above, mirrors beside, and roots below. Let me define them. Mentors who correct you. These are not famous people you admire from afar. These are fruitful people with scars who will say, no, that's sloppy. Do it again. They measure you against your assignment, not against their insecurity. Do not chase applause. Pursue alignment. How do you know a mentor? Fruit and fearlessness. They have measurable results in the arena you are called to, and they are not afraid to offend your laziness to protect your legacy. You honor them with attention, with questions prepared, with prompt implementation, and if appropriate, with honor offerings, because what you do not value will not remain. Write this down. Correction is a gift that buys you time. Peers who challenge you, this is your formation flight. They are not impressed by your highlight reel because they have one too. After a meeting with them, your excuses feel silly and your plans feel sharper. You trade strategies, not gossip, accountability, not flattery. Build a pair table where numbers are normal goals, deadlines, budgets, souls helped, widows fed, patterns filed, children mentored. If you leave a pair lunch with no assignments, you just had entertainment. Write this down. Friendship without standards is just company. Proteges who draw leadership out of you, these are the ones God trusts you to lift. They force you to articulate what you only intuited. Teaching exposes gaps in your thinking and upgrades your language. Do not hoard your knowledge. Lighthouses don't invoice ships. They exist to keep them off the rocks. Schedule time to invest, not just inspire. Give them homework, introduce them to challenge, and celebrate obedience more than personality. Write this down. You don't know a thing until you can reproduce it. Now, environment without boundaries is a hotel. Anyone checks in, rearranges the furniture, and leaves a mess. You are not a hotel. You are an embassy. Please write this down. Authority requires gates. Limit access. Schedule availability. Protect creative hours, and stop over-explaining vision to people committed to misunderstanding it. Let me get very practical. Choose 2 hours each morning, prime brain time, as holy creative hours. During that window you build, write the proposal, draft the sermon, design the product, map the funnel, plan the outreach. No meetings, no social media, phone on airplane mode. If the king has entrusted you with an embassy, you cannot turn the lobby into a marketplace. Protect your blueprint time. Schedule availability like a steward, not like a vending machine. My personal rule, responding to messages happens in windows, not in constant drip. Why? Drips, rust, engines. Do meetings by agenda and outcome. If there is no agenda, it is not a meeting, it is a meandering. Give your calendar to your calling before you give it to casual requests. And hear me with love. Stop auditioning your vision in rooms that are allergic to responsibility. You do not owe a TED talk to every critic. If someone is committed to misunderstanding you, change access, not your assignment. Write this down. Explanation is a gift. Access is a gate. Now, how do you separate with honor so you don't become bitter? Because bitterness is a barnacle. It drags on your wings. Separation with honor means you do not need to announce your departure with a parade of insults. No subtweets, no coded posts, no smear campaigns. Simply change access and agreements. Return borrowed items. Close financial loops. Send a short thank you note acknowledging the good you received. Then state your new availability with clarity. I'm grateful for our time serving together. My current assignment requires a different schedule and environment. I won't be able to participate in X after this date. That's all. No gossip, no revenge, no campaigning for recruits. Let me pass to you. If you must burn a bridge to feel strong, you were never strong. You were dependent. Write this down. Gates can close quietly. I want you to do a write it down exercise right now, because clarity saves time and saves hearts. 4 lists, put them on paper. Don't trust your brain. List 1. Who drains your faith? Names only for you and God, not to gossip, but to guard your gates. These are the people after whom you feel smaller, slower, less obedient, more confused. List 2. Who strengthens your obedience? These are your mentors and peers and even honest friends who push you toward decisions and holiness. List 3. Who must you love at a distance? These are not enemies. They are simply not good for your altitude right now. Family, colleagues, history friends, you bless but don't let into your cockpit. List 4. Who must you pursue for growth? Write down 2 mentors to approach in the next 7 days, 3 peers for a monthly mastermind, and at least 3 proteges you will invest in weekly for the next 90 days. Circle that list. Put dates by those names. Destiny honors dates. Let me give you a 90-day environment plan so we translate this into motion. In the next 7 days, send 3 messages. 1 gratitude and release message, 1 mentor request, 1 peer invitation to form a small accountability cohort. In the next 30 days, host your first mastermind with peers agenda. Each shares 1 win, 1 bottleneck, 1 commitment with deadline. In the next 60 days, begin a weekly flight school with your proteges. Teach for 20 minutes, assign for 20 minutes, review for 20 minutes. In the next 90 days, review your list. Ask, did my obedience increase? Did my language get clearer? Did my decisions get faster? If not, adjust the gates, not the goal. Write this down. Environments are engineered, not inherited. And because we are ambassadors, let me add the heart check that keeps you from bitterness. Every week, practice these 3. Bless, release, and replace. Bless the past. Thank God for what that circle gave you, even if it was only the lesson of what not to do. Release offense. Say out loud, I forgive them. I forgive me. Replace the gap. Fill the hour you used to spend complaining with intercession. The lunch you used to waste with reading. The call you used to dread with coaching someone you believe in. Say it with me. I build gates, not grudges. Again, stronger. I build gates, not grudges. Let me confront a misbelief gently. If I set boundaries, I'm being unloving. No, boundaries are how love focuses. Love without boundaries becomes enablement. Enablement breeds resentment. Resentment ferments into bitterness. Eagles don't hate pigeons. They just don't live in the square. They greet them in passing. They don't ask them for flight plans. Write this down. Honor is maintained by distance as much as by closeness. When you protect your call, you protect your ability to serve people well. Sloppy leaders become sour leaders. Precise leaders become sweet fountains. Before we close this segment, speak to your environment like a steward speaking to a field. Put your hand on your chest and declare, I am constructing an eagle environment. My mentors correct me. My peers challenge me. My proteges pull leadership out of me. My gates guard my gift. I separate with honor. I refuse bitterness. Again, say it until your bones remember. I am constructing an eagle environment. Now give yourself a hand, because that confession just laid the first bricks of a new world around your assignment. This week, you are going to feel lighter, not because life got easier, but because you dropped dead weight and picked up design. Send those 3 messages. Schedule your prime hours. Draw your 4 lists. And when the old circle calls you selfish for stewarding what God entrusted to you, smile and bless them from the sky. You are not abandoning love. You are aligning for impact. You don't just leave pigeons, you build the wind. And when you build the wind, your authority matures. Your decisions quicken, your fruit multiplies, and your legacy moves from idea to evidence before you die. I want you to write this down. Eagles love storms. When the winds rise and the clouds darken and other birds run for cover, the eagle spreads his wings, locks them, and lets the pressure lift him higher with less effort. That is not poetry, that is principle. Pressure can either press you into panic or press you into power, depending on who is flying with you. Are there eagles in this room? Then hear your coach. The right people don't remove storms. They help you use storms to rise. We are going to separate two kinds of people tonight, storm people and shelter people, because your circle is either a runway or a roof. Shelter people are lovely when the sky is blue. They clap when you cruise at low altitude. They love your highlight reel. They enjoy the picnic. But the moment clouds gather, they become meteorologists of fear. They text you statistics about lightning. They forward you articles about plane crashes. They recommend you land immediately. They say, why don't you wait a few more years? Why don't you slow down? Why don't you come back to the square where it's safe and familiar? Write this down. Shelter people pressure you to quit when obedience costs you comfort. They only like you when life is easy. When pressure comes, they become pressure. Storm people are different. Storm people don't worship pain. They redeem it. They don't deny reality. They define it, then design around it. They pray, and after they pray, they plan. They confront the bill, the betrayal, the biopsy, the rumor, the layoff. Then they ask, how do we convert this headwind into a highway? Write this down. Storm people keep vision alive in dark weather. They don't bring umbrellas to your purpose. They bring wings. Let me give you a profile so you can spot them quickly. When something breaks, shelter people panic, volume high, faith low, lots of talk, no traction. Storm people pause, silence first, then intercession, then a whiteboard. Shelter people change the subject when obedience gets expensive. Storm people double down on instruction. What did God say? Where's the last clear directive? What is our next small brave step by Friday? Shelter people comfort you into compromise. You've done enough. No one will blame you if you stop. Storm people comfort you into courage. You have grace for this. We will tighten the plan, cut the waste, increase the prayer, accelerate the learning, and we will move today. Please write this down. If their comfort sedates your assignment, it is not comfort, it is sabotage wearing kindness. I want you to run a quick diagnostic from your last hard week. In the worst 72 hours, you remember the call you didn't want, the number you didn't hit, the meeting that went left, who showed up, and what did they bring? Who brought prayer that produced perspective? Who brought a plan with names, dates, and next steps? Who brought accountability and said, text me the draft by 7 p.m.? Who brought money or a contact or a lead without making you feel small? Now, who disappeared? Who said, thinking of you and never checked back? Who said, see, I told you this was too much for you and called that wise counsel? Write this down. Storms reveal loyalties faster than surveys. Let me pastor your discernment with 4 questions that will save you years. Question 1, who panics when I face challenge? Because panic is contagious and altitude is allergic to contagion. Question 2, who helps me interpret pressure as training? If they always label the gym as a hospital, they will medicate strength. Question 3, who disappears when obedience costs? If they vanish when you say yes to the king, they were renters in your life, not builders. Question 4, who can stare at my worst data, worst day, worst headline, and still speak in the grammar of vision? Storm people can speak future without lying about present. Write it down. I need voices that bring wind, not walls. Now, I can hear someone say, but Pastor, I love my friends. I don't want to lose them. I got news for you. Eagles do not hate pigeons. They just don't ask them for flight plans. This is not about love. This is about lanes. Bless shelter people with the picnic. Don't put them in the cockpit. Buy them lunch. Don't let them lead your launch. Send them photos from the sky. Don't let them stare. You cannot ask someone who never built to bless your building without feeling threatened. And you cannot ask someone who only knows sunny weather to counsel you through a storm. Write this down. Proximity without purpose is a liability in bad weather. Storm people have signatures you can verify. They ask better questions under pressure. They shorten your time to action. They protect your language from decay. When you start saying, maybe someday after this blows over, they interrupt. By what date? With what budget? Using whose help? They honor chain of command. When you are tempted to crowdsource a crisis, they anchor you back to the king's instruction. They do phone calls you fear. They sit in meetings you would avoid. They will look you in the eye and say, you are about to choose safety over stewardship. I love you too much to be quiet. Please write this down. Real friends brace your backbone. Shelter people, on the other hand, have a pattern you must not ignore. They increase your excuses. They introduce delays disguised as wisdom. Take a season off. Don't be so intense. Why risk your reputation? They use phrases like be realistic when they mean be regular. They quote your past to cap your future. They bring gossip as if it were guidance. And when the rain pounds, they hand you a blanket and turn on Netflix for your soul. Listen, rest is holy, but resignation is hell dressed like a nap. You are not called to sleep through your assignment. I want you to engineer this into action. This week, schedule a 30-minute storm audit. Look at your recent headwinds and write down 3 names under each: who prayed with specificity, who planned with dates, who partnered with effort. Circle those names. These are your storm people. Text them gratitude and increase their access. Now write the names of those who panicked, those who pressured you to quit, those who disappeared. Don't demonize them. Just demote their access. Move them from cockpit to courtyard. No announcements, no drama. Gates can close quietly. Say it with me. Adjust access, not affection. Again, stronger. Adjust access, not affection. Now lift your eyes, because storms are not stopping. They are scheduled. And this is good news for eagles. The market will wobble. The boss may shift. The client may cancel. The doctor may call. The rumor may fly. The family may turn. The partner may betray. The numbers may dip. The law may change. But write this down and write it as a law. With the right people and the right posture, every headwind becomes a highway. You will not collapse. You will convert. You will not drown. You will draft. You will not spiral. You will soar. Everybody put your hand on your chest and declare with me: I choose storm people. I release shelter from my cockpit. I will not waste the wind. I will use it for altitude. Again, louder. I choose storm people. I release shelter from my cockpit. I will not waste the wind. I will use it for altitude. Now let me prophesy to your schedule. No matter what comes, divorce or death, betrayal or layoffs, diagnosis or delay, rumors or rejection, construction halts or contracts lost, you will use it for altitude. You will gather your storm people. You will pray and plan. You will confront reality without surrendering vision. And you will mount up in pressure with precision. The right people will not remove your storm. They will teach you to ride it. And you rare breed called the eagle, you will rise, not because the sky turned friendly, but because you finally chose a formation that treats wind like a gift. Activation time. We are not going to admire revelation and postpone obedience. We are going to activate authority now. I want you to write this down and circle it 3 times. Authority returns when you speak like an eagle and decide like an eagle immediately, practically, unapologetically. Not tomorrow, not when they approve, not when you feel courageous. Now, are there eagles in this room? Then put your hand on your chest and prepare your mouth, because heaven responds to sound. Declaration number 1, say it with me. Slow and strong so your bones can hear you. I am an eagle created for altitude. My assignment is not up for debate. Again, louder. I am an eagle created for altitude. My assignment is not up for debate. Write it down. That sentence is not motivational fluff. It is jurisdiction. When you accept debate over your assignment, you invite delay. When you declare jurisdiction, you impose order on your environment. The king did not ask a council of pigeons before. He breathed purpose into you. Your design is your defense. Your assignment is your authorization. Treat it like a law, not a suggestion. Declaration number 2. Come on, lift your head. I will test before I trust. Access is earned. Honor is required. Again, I will test before I trust. Access is earned. Honor is required. Please write this down. Trust is not a gift you hand out. Trust is a reward for testing. Eagles test the wind before they ride it. They test the twig before they give it. They test the mate before they covenant. You, ambassador, must test people's patterns before you give them positions in your life. Access is earned by fruit, not by familiarity. And honor is required. Honor for God's order. Honor for the assignment. Honor for time. Honor for the scars that brought your wisdom. If someone will not honor your purpose, they cannot handle your proximity. That is not arrogance. That is stewardship. Declaration number 3, put some steel in it. I will not shrink to keep company. I will soar to keep purpose. Again, stronger. I will not shrink to keep company. I will soar to keep purpose. Write it down. Compromise is the slow leak of destiny. Every time you lower your standard to preserve a seat at an old table, you put your assignment on a ventilator. You are not rude. You are rare. You are not aloof. You are aligned. This season does not require your smallness. It requires your stature. Don't apologize for altitude. It's what you were built for. Now, one decision, because declarations without decisions become decorations. I want you to choose one boundary action within 7 days, and I want you to date it, time it, and tell one storm person for accountability. Option 1, reduce access. Move one person from cockpit to courtyard. Send a simple note by Friday, 5 p.m. My new schedule is tighter. I'll be less available in this season. No explanation. Gates can close quietly. Option 2, stop a certain conversation. Identify one gossip chain, one complaint thread, one doom chat, and exit today. Hey friends, I'm stepping out of this conversation to protect my focus. Option 3, join a growth community by Wednesday. Enroll in a mastermind class or ministry team where standards are normal and excuses are not. Put your card down. Where your treasure is, your heart will follow. Option 4, seek counsel from proven leaders. Book a session, send the email, make the call to a mentor with fruit in your assignment lane. Ask 3 prepared questions. Then do what they say for 30 days. Write this down. One boundary action in 7 days turns a sermon into a system. And because I love you, let me coach you for the minute after you obey when guilt comes knocking. Guilt will wear a friendly face and say, you've changed. You think you're better. You don't care about people anymore. I want you to write this down in bold. Guilt is not guidance. Purpose is the compass. Say it with me. Guilt is not guidance. Purpose is the compass. Again, when guilt hits, breathe and locate your north. Ask, does this action honor my assignment? Does it increase obedience? Does it protect what God entrusted? If yes, proceed. If no, adjust. But never let guilt become your GPS. Use the language we learned. Adjust access, not affection. You can still love them. You just can't let them fly your plane. Let me put words in your mouth for when you're confronted, because preparedness prevents panic. If someone says, you used to be so available, you answer, I love you. My availability has changed to serve my assignment better. If they say, so you're too good for us now, you answer, I'm not better. I'm becoming obedient. If they say, you really become intense, smile and answer, yes, purpose requires precision. No drama, no debate. You are not auditioning, you are administering. I want you to set 3 time stamps right now. Tonight, before you sleep, write the 3 declarations on paper and place them where your eyes will meet them in the morning. Tomorrow morning, speak them out loud before you look at your phone. Use your prime 2 hours for one assignment task. No meetings, no media. Build by 7 p.m. on day 7. Complete your boundary action. Send the message. Leave the group. Enroll in the room or book the council. Success is scheduled, so is sabotage. Beat sabotage with dates. Some of you feel a tremor in your chest because you know which action it is. That trembling is not fear of people, it is the reverence of stewardship. The treasure God hid in you deserves gates. Your children deserve a parent with boundaries. Your company deserves a leader with a spine. Your generation deserves your full voice, not your filtered one. I got news for you. When you make this decision, some pigeons will flutter and coo. Do not be distracted. You're not rude, you're rare. And the rare breed called the eagle does not apologize for wind. Before we close, one more time, declare like a governor taking office. I am an eagle created for altitude. My assignment is not up for debate. I will test before I trust. Access is earned. Honor is required. I will not shrink to keep company. I will soar to keep purpose. Now give yourself a hand, not for hype, but for a holy decision brewing in your calendar. This week, you will feel authority return to your voice, clarity return to your schedule, and courage return to your chest. Not because the world became easy, but because you stopped waiting for permission and started walking in delegation. The king has trusted you with a territory. Steward it with words and with walls. Speak like an eagle. Decide like an eagle. And watch altitude answer to your alignment this week. Now hear the word that sanctifies everything we have said tonight. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. I want you to write this down. Waiting is not idleness. Waiting is alignment. The Hebrew concept of renew is an exchange. God takes your depleted human strength and gives you his. That means when you separate in obedience, you are not becoming weaker. You are making room for an exchange. You're not becoming harsh. You are becoming holy. You are not isolating yourself from love. You are insulating your assignment from sabotage. Are there eagles in this room? Then I want you to hear your king say, if you will wait on me, I will make you fly again. Please write this down. The eagle is the only bird the Creator compares himself to. If the Creator said, I bear you on eagle's wings, then eagle principles are not arrogance. They are alignment with divine pattern. Testing before trusting is not pride. It is protocol. Soaring alone for a season is not rejection. It is formation. Using storms for altitude is not denial. It is design. And refusing to ask pigeons for permission is not rudeness. It is reverence for the one who already commissioned you. I got news for you. Ambassadors don't collect signatures from the street before they deliver a decree from the throne. When you wait on the Lord, you remember that your badge didn't come from the crowd, it came from the king. Let me pastor your soul with this. Waiting is not passive. Waiting is worship with a calendar. Waiting is silence that sharpens instruction. Waiting is pruning that preserves fruit. Some of you have been mislabeling your separation as loneliness when heaven is calling it altitude. And you have been counting minutes when heaven is measuring muscle. Write this down. The renewal promise has 4 movements. Mount up, run, walk, not faint. There are seasons to mount vision. Seasons when God lifts you above noise and you see far. There are seasons to run execution seasons. When pieces click, grace is heavy, and you outpace doubt. There are seasons to walk steady seasons. No fireworks, just faithful steps that finish contracts, books, training, and bills. And through all 3, the guarantee is the same. You will not faint, not in separation, not in pressure, not under opinions. Why? Because your strength is not manufactured, it is exchanged. Lift your hands where you are. Let me pray over you as we seal this word. Father, in the name of Jesus, we wait on you. We exchange our fear for your courage, our weariness for your wind, our confusion for your clarity. Give us the courage to obey quickly, the wisdom to separate with honor, and the strength to outlast lonely altitudes without becoming bitter. Teach us to close gates quietly and open our mouths boldly. Give us eyes like an eagle to see 5 miles beyond today into the territory you assign. Purge our hearts from the addiction to applause. Deliver us from the need to be understood by pigeons. Restore our first love. Refine our language and reignite our authority. We submit our calendar to your command. We will not faint. We say amen. Now hear me, because the promise is conditional. They that wait upon the Lord, not they that scroll, not they that poll, not they that compare, not they that beg the courtyard for a yes. If you want renewal, you must trade the noise for the nest. And sometimes the nest has thorns because God loves you too much to let you die in comfort. Write this down. Discomfort is not rejection. It is redirection to the runway. If your circle is shrinking, it may be because God is stretching your wings. If your meetings are reducing, it may be because God is multiplying your momentum. If your phone is quieter, it may be because heaven is louder. Wait well, obey fast, move clean. Say it with me, slow and strong. I wait on the Lord. My strength is renewed. I mount up, I run, I walk, I do not faint. Again, louder. I wait on the Lord. My strength is renewed. I mount up, I run, I walk, I do not faint. Now write this next line in your spirit. I am not asking pigeons for permission to fly. Either they'll wave from the ground or they'll watch me disappear into destiny. And if they choose to coo at my courage, I will bless them from altitude and keep moving. Let me anchor this in legacy, because time is the only resource you cannot refund. The wealthiest spot on this planet is not the diamond mines of South Africa, not the oil fields of the Middle East, not the banks of Switzerland. It is the cemetery full of unwritten books, unsung songs, unbuilt companies, untrained leaders, uncaptured inventions. I want you to make me a promise tonight. Do not add to the wealth of the cemetery. Do not let your dream die because a pigeon frowned. Do not bury your assignment under a blanket of approval. Die empty. Leave the planet spent, not spared. Leave the nest of the familiar and finish the flight plan of heaven over your life. Are there eagles in this room? Then join me at the top. Stop circling the square where the crumbs are easy and the conversations are cheap. Set your face like flint. Set your gates like bronze. Set your schedule like a governor under orders. Test before you trust. Embrace the storm. Adjust access, not affection. And wait on the Lord until you feel the exchange, until weakness gives way to wind, until confusion bows to command, until the voice of the king grows louder than the cooing of the crowd. I bless you tonight with eagle eyes to see, eagle bones to bear pressure, eagle wings to ride the wind, eagle focus to refuse every side street to smallness. May your circle be purified without pettiness, your boundaries be firm without bitterness, your voice be strong without strife. And when they ask where you went, tell them kindly, I waited on the Lord. He renewed my strength and I mounted up. Now go run and not be weary. Walk and not faint. Mount up with wings as eagles and finish your assignment before you die. Give yourself a hand for the decision you just made in your spirit. I will see you at the top.